Hello everybody and welcome back. This is PYS number 2 Asia. Seems like only yesterday that we were here on PYS number 1. Actually it was only yesterday, but not to worry, we are now today in a new PYS. We are following HLV. So let's have a look. Who are they up against? They're in Group 2 this time round. There they are. First match out will be on the hour against Crank. It's on Dynasty's Pearl with the decider over there on Canal. So let's have a quick flyover of Dynasty's Pearl. Let's get an understanding of what this map is all about and see what kind of strats we're going to be looking at. So let's get up high. It's a map that has 3 caps. We have one in the park right there. That is the C cap. We have one in the middle, just in between those buildings, opposite the monument, and we have one behind the monument. That is the A cap. Strat wise, well, this is where you generally get to see a mouse. And what happens is sometimes the teams will send their mouses, if they spawn from here, along this B route, or sometimes along this B route. The reason being, they like to sit them here to prevent the B cap, but they have to be careful because if the other side have mouses, they can send them in the same way. We have seen different strats normally, unlike what you get in random battles, or regular battles as they're now called in this mode. We normally don't get big brawls around the C cap. However, recently we've been seeing a change in the strats from the teams where the C cap is becoming more important, trying to get this C cap and then trying to get themselves into a position in the park using these haul down positions left and right, just here and even on the ramp, to prevent the B cap from being taken. We do have some clans going to the A cap. You will generally see them sometimes taking a 50B or 250Bs, hanging them around here, getting their mediums and their lights into that B cap, and then once they're in there, bunkering down along this ridge line to prevent that cap being taken. The map itself, well, it's almost asymmetrical, so what you see from the one spawn you normally get from the other spawn, which is interesting. However, we never know what strats they're going to employ. They have multiple strats for multiple maps. Let's jump out and have a quick look at Canal, because Canal is always an interesting one. I'm not saying that we'll get there. It is a decider, but it is best of 3 and you never know. But Canal, one of my favourite maps, it's got, for tournaments, it's got 4 caps, which also makes it very difficult. It's a very cap-dependent map. Now, from both spawns, we've seen some of the clans, well, from this spawn, they'll normally try and fast cap B, and more recently, they've been sending tanks to the A cap, plus getting their heavies down into this dip, mainly around this side, or rushing to get into this area so they can basically use this to put pressure on, because the C cap is the quick cap. We also see the same from the other side, so we normally have a fast cap on C. Some tanks, mainly heavies, dropping down, trying to get to this ramp over here to put the pressure on that B cap. It's all about who caps 2 caps first, so A cap is the longest cap to get to, and we normally have tanks rushing over to that D cap over there. Now, I have seen clans taking both D and C, not B, and then effectively having a defensive position here along the ridges to give the other side a bit of a hard time. But it is a very cap dependent map. As I said, whoever gets those caps controls this map. So it'll be interesting to see how, if we do get to it, how the guys on Asia play this one. Let's jump out. We should be getting the invite to the room anytime soon now. Unfortunately, I am the only one streaming Asia today. If you want to get to the stream, well, you're already in the stream, so I don't know why I'm showing you this, but I'm going to show you anyway. Go to the group stage, go to streams, and you'll see the stream right there. The invite should be coming through in about 30 odd seconds or so. Not long now. HLV played particularly well in PYS number 1. Fortunately, I haven't been keeping an eye on Crank because I was the only one streaming, so I was focusing primarily on the games that I was streaming. So I'll be interested to see how Crank apply themselves against HLV, who have been very dominant during, as I said, in PYS number 1. HLV, obviously they're the winners of last year's Blitz Cup here on Asia, and they're a pretty competent clan. They're a clan that a lot of people didn't really understand and didn't know about, so let's just ready up and jump back out again. We will have HLV on the south spawn and Crank on the north. So we're going to jump out to the 3 odd minute mark and then we'll jump back in. As I was saying, a lot of people hadn't sort of really heard about HLV until the Blitz Cup, where they really did shine. And they've been consistently in the top 4. And there's been a bit of a sort of sea change in Asia. Feast, well, they've had some changes. Well, they've also been playing particularly well, but they've come unstuck against HLV a couple of times. We've all, RN yesterday played particularly well. They went on and won the final, so they're a clan to look out for. They've struggled a bit recently, but it seems to be they're back on the rise. Other clans to note that we need to be mindful of: Cats, E7, Feast, obviously. King always have a surprise tucked up their sleeve. ENT, again, another clan to be mindful of. Dur as well. These are clans that played particularly well in the winter season. So Asia is becoming a lot more competitive than what it used to be, which is fantastic for the overall scene. We just need more clans to get involved. That's what we need. Anyway, we're down to the coming up to the 3 minute mark, so we'll jump in and see what they're doing. Well, no one's here yet, really. So nothing's really going on. So we'll just wait, of course. Don't forget, guys, this is the group stage. Any clan can take part in the group stage. It is best of 3. This is the second PYS. So, the clans are looking for those cups, trying to grab hold as many as they can, trying to secure their place in the top 8. And you can't blame them, because you get in the top 8, you get to the next stage. The next stage is the Pro Tour. Just turn my other camera off. And that's always a good thing. So the guys are slowly rolling in. They have got plenty of time. As I said, Dynasty's Pearl used to be a sort of like a chess map. It was sort of jostling for position. More recently, I've seen a lot more clans being incredibly aggressive on Dynasty's Pearl, trying to put the pressure onto the other team, trying to put them under the cap pressure, and really taking the battle to them. So I am interested to see how these two clans approach Dynasty's Pearl. Chances of seeing a TD on this map are incredibly slim, almost 0. But we are likely to see the super heavies, like a mouse, potentially an E100. Normally though, you're going to get a brace of E5s, IS4s and Kranwagens. Although we do have QU there in an AMX50B, but on the same token, we have Killer over on the other side in Crank and an Annihilator. Wishful thinking, maybe? Who knows? Just over a minute to go. So they're slowly but surely turning up. Oh, a lot of Annihilators being taken out by Crank, I can see. Bless them. Well, we've got less than a minute now. I'm expecting a sort of influx of players. There we go, here comes the Crank guys. Don't know the Crank team fully. Who we got here? We've got Killer Allen. He's going out in an E100. We've got Adiv in a Kranwagen. Troyo in an E100. Penetration in a VK90. Dogger in a Chieftain Mark 6. Interesting call. Ravi in an E5. And Rick Command in an Object 268. See, I said you don't very rarely see TDs. Minimal. And there's a TD. We're now just waiting for HLV, who are not here yet, and the seconds are really ticking away a lot. Here they come, slowly but surely, and I mean very slowly. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Looks like HLV are going to be a bit light on the ground. And they are. They're only 6. We have Rush, QU, Blood and Wine, 7710, and Joy Solo Q in safety zone. 2 Mouses, an M48 pattern, a Kranwagen, an IS4, and a T22. That's made it pretty much hard work here for HLV, to be honest with you. I'm going to be interested to see how they're going to cope. They're already a hit point deficit and a gun less. So it's an interesting one. The back's against the wall before we even start. Let's get up high into the back of the map and see how HLV are going to play this. I'd expect them to stay safety in numbers because, and there we go, we've got the 2 Mouses, the IS-1, the Kranwagen sticking together. We're moving over to have a look at the T22 safety zone in Blood and Wine, trying to get to that C and B cap area. The entirety of the Crank team are heading towards the A cap, however. Killer Allen has been spotted. I'm just going to rotate around so we can see what's going on here. So Crank moving towards the A cap. C cap will be taken by safety zone of HLV. And, well, I didn't expect HLV to have a tank down. We're probably going to see quite an aggressive playstyle by Crank here, trying to push onto these 4 tanks because they are outnumbered quite significantly. And as you can see here, yes, Crank are indeed pushing down onto 7710 in the mouse, led by Ravi. Killer Allen just in the background. Enjoy Solo Q just holding back. Rushing Kuyu trying their best to protect 7710. Dogger going after Enjoy Solo Q, but the main action is here. Cap points, however, are going to HLV, so HLV did secure a cap. And at the moment, they are actually faring well with the tank down. Rick Command here really over pushing in the E3, another TD, and he's going to come unstuck. He really is. Rush should be able to put one into his bottom plate. No, he doesn't. Oh, E3 there of Rick Command finally being taken down by 7710. Dogger's down, Rick Command is down, so at this rate, HLV have got the advantage, and they've now got the gun advantage. They haven't got the HP advantage, but they have the gun advantage and the cap advantage. And you can see here, it's just a big brawl. Down goes Ravi. 3 tanks down to the loss of none. 4 tanks down to the loss of none of HLV. Well, can't really say much about that. HLV here are just saying, well, hang on a minute. You know, these things happen. It looks like it's Troy. No, he's not AFK. So penetration is going to go down here. Rush should be able to put a big side roll into him. Adiv is also going to go down. Adiv is down. Penetration will be the next one to go in the VK. Can't penetrate that mouse. Great stuff by 7710. Can't believe he survived this battle. Leaving just Troyo left. This is impressive stuff by HLV, especially when they only had 6 players. And very poor focus fire by Crank. Overly aggressive with the 6 players, thinking that they could turn it around. And HLV, wow, punished them, to be perfectly honest with you. As simple as that. Looking at the way it was dished out, they only dished out 6,900 with that TD of E3, only doing 578 damage. HLV with their 6 players knocking out 17,600. Wowzers. That's, but as I said, I mean, I think they were just overly aggressive there, pushing down onto those tanks. The focus fire wasn't as good as expected, hence the reason why HLV managed to survive that battle. HLV now are going to have a full team by looks on it. We're going to swap those spawn points here on Dynasty's Pill. This time Crank on the south spawn, HLV on the north spawn. I hate to say, but on the strength of what I've just seen, don't take this the wrong way, the guys from Crank, but I don't think we'll be going to a decider. Now we have safety zone in a T22, 7710 in a mouse, Enjoy Solo Q potentially in a mouse, Kuyu in a Kranwagen, Rush in an IS4 potentially, Shirori in a mouse potentially, and Soruzu in a Kranwagen. Looking over at Crank, wow, Killer Allen in an E100 again, Adiv in a Kranwagen, Troyo in an E100, Penetration in a T57 Heavy, Dogger in an E100, Ravi in an E5, Rick Command again in a 268. But he then changed it at the last minute. Well, we'll find out if they will change it in about, well, 10 seconds or so. So here we go. Out again here in Dynasty's Pearl. HLV already got 1 foot into the next stage. Rick Command has not changed his 268, he is staying in it. HLV now have a full team, so we are going to see a different HLV. And with 6 players they were dominant. Imagine what they're going to be like with 7. Crank really needs to bunker down a little bit, not be so aggressive. Getting a little bit of package loss here today on Asia. Let's get up high anyway into the back. And as you can see here, safety zone of HLV heading towards the C cap, where everybody else is heading towards the middle area. Primarily the A cap. Same with Crank. Crank are heading towards that A cap again as an entirety almost. The E100s, they're a bit slow in lumbering, which is what's taking them so long. But they will get there. And Crank just peeling off. Good shots there into Shori Shan. This time, Crank not being as aggressive as they were in the last game. I mean, they have got 7 opponents this time, not 6. So they have got to be careful. Don't ever underestimate your opponent, even when they only had 6 players. And that's one of the cruxes of tournaments. You underestimate your team at your peril. As you can see here, safety zone is trying to get around that flank. Enjoy solo queue again. HLV have got the cap advantage. Adiv here getting smacked quite heavily by safety zone. And again, Crank here are being bled quite massively, to be fair, by HLV. Rick Command in the 268. He's opened up here. He's going to allow safety zone to put shots in. He misses his shot onto safety zone. Safety zone misses his shot. Now Crank have pushed again into the super heavies of HLV. And as you can see, they are just being bled here. 7-7-10 and Rush really giving Killer Allen a hard time. He's on 3 hit points. He's back in the garage. Now we've got penetration in the 57 heavy. He's not fully reloaded. He's a 1-shot. And he's just going to be rammed by 7-7-10 and put out the game. And he is. Now Ravi out in the open in a haul down tank. He is going to be followed by short shot Shrift from 7-7-10 and Shorty Chan. There are. And Joyce OQ's coming in to take some of the action as well. Ravi is going to go here. They've already lost 3 tanks. Penetration. Ravi is now down. This allows them to move on to Troyo. Rick Command losing his battle with safety zone in the T22. Troyo, well, he's pretty healthy, but Adiv is now going to be focused by both safety zone and Shori Chan. Troyo, down he goes, leaving Adiv as the last man standing, and Adiv, down he goes. Again, pretty standard stuff here for HLV. Again, Crank being pretty aggressive, and there was no need to be. They could have just waited for HLV to push onto them. Would have been a lot better. Would have been a lot easier for them. But they were quite aggressive, and again they got punished for it. Their positioning, in fairness, again, Crank, don't take this the wrong way. I'm not picking on you guys, but the positioning wasn't exactly the best. A TD on this map is really not a good idea. Hardly anybody takes one. So, you know, it's to be expected. So commiserations there to Crank. Congratulations to HLV. Unfortunately, you can hear my son in the background playing on his saxophone. I apologise for that. Can't do anything about it. He's a kid, and as all kids at the age of 10, he's a pain. It just happened. Just have a look at the win rate. Well, this is that's the other Crank. That's not the Crank we've just seen. I don't think that's crank with a 4. This is the crank we've just seen. They've got a 53% win rate overall. So it was going to be difficult for them against HLV, to be perfectly honest with you. But they gave it a good showing. You can't knock them. HLV, well, who have they got next? We don't know yet, but it's going to be Mayan Ruins and Port Bay. So let's have a look at that. Where is Mayan Ruins? We have got it somewhere. Oh, I thought we had it somewhere. I don't. Okay, so I'm going to have to load up Mayan Ruins. Bear with me 2 seconds, because we'll do an overview onto Mayan Ruins. We got time, so Port Bay we've already got, so it's not a problem. We can see that one. So da 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 da. Alright, I'm going to come out on that. Again, excuse my 10-year-old playing on his saxophone. He can't help it, bless him. So, let's have a quick flyover on Mayan Ruins and see what we can possibly expect. Mayan Ruins is always a tricky map, strat-wise. So, what normally happens from both spawns is that if they've got mediums and lights, they will send them to this C-cap area to either get the spots or the fast caps. In random games, you normally have a brawl around this area and around the C-cap. That doesn't generally happen in tournaments. Some teams like to send an IS-4 or such down this way upon both sides, trying to get a fast and sneaky B-cap. But you generally get quite a lot of heavies coming along these routes and on the alternative. And we generally have a brawl around these areas here. So that's what we're going to be looking for today. It all depends on the meta selection. As I said, they have multiple strats for these maps, so we don't really know until we get into it. But let's see. Then we'll quickly switch over to Port Bay. That is the decider match. So let's find Port Bay. Here's Port Bay. So let's have a quick flyover of Port Bay. Port Bay is always an interesting map in the tournament circuit. In randoms, well, it's basically a big brawl around the C-cap 9 times out of 10, with mediums and lights shooting themselves into this corner over there from both sides of the spawn. That's not generally what happens in tours. In tours, from this angle, normally you get teams trying to put a tank here, like a Cran Dragon or something, just about to be able to see that C-cap and basically stop it. They normally then send medium or a light tank just to spot if they're not doing a C-strat. We normally can see super heavies like Mouses and E100s on this side. They normally park themselves here looking to get into the B-cap, and you can get them on the alternative on the other side. A lot of clans like going to the A-cap, trying to clap that, but tentatively. It's very rare that we see a lot of action around the C-cap area, but as I keep saying, you never know. In randoms, you do get a lot of action around here, generally 7 on 7 in this area. Everybody jostling for the C-cap. Generally not how it works in tournaments, but I've been wrong before because they do take you by surprise. What you normally have is jostling between B and A, but time will tell and we will see. Let's jump back into the chart and see who's through and who's not. So in Group 1, E7 are through, DUR are through, GV are through, ID are through, RN are through, and SQ are through. That looks like, I don't know, let's have a look, see how King did today. Well, they're still playing ECG, so we don't know about them yet. What about UI? I mean, they were quite impressive. They've just lost to SQ. So that'd be a blow for UI. Cam 1 played a particularly nice winter season, but they're still playing as well against EA, so we don't know fully what's going on there. In Group 2, EGS, Feast, HLV, ENT, and Cats are through. So there's still quite a few teams out there that are still playing. We're following HLV, so who have they got next? Well, we still don't know because the teams are still playing. We're going out in about 15 minutes, so it should update. That gives me time, hopefully, to get a replay up and running. Let me see if I can get a replay up and running. If anybody sent me a replay, that is. I've got a lack of replays because I did have a lot of replays, but then they reset. They obviously issued an update, and that doesn't help. But let's have a look. We've got some replays. Let's play this one first. I'll just drop my ugly mug out. You don't need to see me in a replay. Oh, wrong one. That's the one I wanted. And I'll just drop my mic as well, so you don't hear saxophone blaring in the background. And just enjoy the overall gameplay here on the AMX. The Tier 9 AMX, that is. Hey, I know, a field deal for real. I should be sleeping too, I think. I mean, you were on my NA stream earlier this morning, and I've sort of come out of that into this, and then I'll go out of this into EU, and then I'll go out of EU into NA again. So, wowzers, it's been a busy day. I mean, I can't remember. Did I sleep yesterday? I think I did. Somewhere. Potentially, maybe. I don't know. Somewhere. Tricky tank, this Tier 9 AMX. Leads you to the 50B, which is not a tricky tank. I mean, well, it is a tricky tank, but it's a beautiful tank, the 50B. Once you get used to it, I mean, that tank is just awesome. And I love it. I love the 50B, to be perfectly honest with you. This one, well, this one is similar, but I find it a little bit trickier, to be honest. It is a trickier type of tank. Still good fun. I mean, it's a Tier 9, and Tier 9 is the most balanced tier in the game at the moment. Excuse me while I'm sipping my coffee at the same time. Missing no, not a name. I don't know at the moment, Sham. I will find out. We'll watch this replay, and hopefully all the results will then be in, so we can go through the table, see who's in, who's out, and see how it goes. The Demigod, I'm not going to disagree with it. I think they did push a bit too early. I think they're far too aggressive. And if you're far too aggressive, it's not going to help, to be honest with you. Not at this level. And not against teams of HLV's caliber. I mean, they no, exactly, kill shock. You can't expect much. What you can expect and what you give them kudos for is that they took part, they gave it a go. And that's the main thing. That is the main thing. And the only way you're going to get better at clan wars in real terms is to play clan wars. And in fairness, you're not really losing anything. It doesn't affect your stats. It doesn't affect anything like that. But what it does give you is lots and lots of experience, and it does give you a lot of experience. Hey Italy, how you doing, big fella? But yeah, I mean, to be fair, Sawyer team, they did approach it as if it was a normal battle. Big mistake. You shouldn't do that in Clan Wars because it's completely different. But, well, you say that a bit odd, that they feel proud of their 7-0 loss. They went out. That's the main thing. Did you send me a replay, Demigod? If so, where did you send it? And, you know, bit of a slow start for Moo there, but picking up the action, doing 3-3-3-3-3-3-3, lots of threes, damage, 4 kills, getting a lovely little ace in the AMX 5120. Well, let's move over and have a look at the table now, the chart. All the results should now be in. So we have E7, DER, EA, ECG, GV, ID, RN, and SQ all through. To the detriment of King, UI, MIB, S1, Cam1, Plat B, and Gen X. Cam1, as I said, they had a pretty good winter season, but going down today 2-1 against EA. King, wow, are they ever going to find their form? They are going down ECG today 2-1, and they really need to step it up a bit. Moving down to Group 2, we have 4CHT8, EGS, Feast, HLV, ENT, TVP, CAT, and PGMT. Any surprises? Well, DGT is a surprise. To be fair, they'll be pretty upset that they went down with their win rate and their ability there. They went down to PGMT, another clan to keep an eye on. HLV, who we're following, they will be faced against 4CHT8. I don't know this team, so I need to familiarise myself. Evan, Investigator, Myth Stargazers, Sun, Infinus, Alpha Omega, Max Beth, Kato Megumi, Max, and what's that? Buntations. So there we go. And we are going, well, we're going out in about 10 minutes, give or take. Yeah, 10 minutes. My son is kicking off again with his replays. There we go. We have time to play this from Demigod.
Like so many positive ways. Maybe we can't lose.
Look, you send it to me, I will play it. I love the E50M. I think it's a great tank. I think it's a beautiful tank. A lot of people struggle in it. No, Demigod, they're not my replays. The reason being, when I stream the tournaments, I stream via PC, of course, to get the free cam, etc. And I can't play PC. I'm a touch player. So no, you're not seeing my replays. And I haven't played since the update because of the tour. So I've got no replays to show, unfortunately. Here's my son blasting away on his saxophone. I feel like Homer Simpson sometimes. Just send it to my Discord. You can send it to my Discord. But it means you have to join my Discord. Yeah. Numerous ways to send a replay. There we go. It's all good stuff, guys. Oof. Trying to get a sneaky one onto the tram there. To be honest with you though, HE does work. does work in that scenario. Good positioning here in the E50M by Demigod. As I said, I do like this tank. This turret is rock solid. It really is. The ability to bounce is beautiful. Put it in the right spot, you are a real pain. One of the hardest tanks to play in the game there, the FV4202. Not for the faint-hearted, to be honest with you. And, you know, really tricky tank. Really tricky tank. That's a tank that you really do need skill to play. Oof, just piling through the game here. 1,791 dished out, only 1 kill, but get a little third class. What more do you want? 9,000 credits. It's okay. So we've got, what, 4 minutes, 5 minutes? 5 minutes, give or take. I don't think we have enough time to play another replay. Unfortunately. I wish we did. But we've only got 5 minutes, so no, we don't have time. Not now. But we'll get there. We'll be getting the room invite through in a few seconds, not too much longer from now. Yeah. It's Thursday. Thursday here in the Middle East. I live in Dubai. It's basically like Friday. So my son's got his music lesson, and admittedly he's a long way away from me. He's upstairs around the corner and sort of in his room. But the saxophone really does carry. The noise of the saxophone really does carry. Knowing my luck, I'll get copyright striked for that. Yeah, well, we've got the invite, there we go. So we're on Mayan Ruins, as I said. I'm going to ready up and then jump back out again. We're not going to go in for another minute or so. I do like Mayan Ruins. It's always an interesting map to watch to see how they... In fact, to be honest with you, I like most of the maps on the tour scene. The only ones that I'm sort of not in favour of is Camp Stiller. The reason being, it's normally quite a dull and boring map, Castilla, in the tour scene. It's okay in random battles, but for tours, it's not the best, to be fair. So, Demigod, you sent me the wrong replay. There you go, look. Now everybody's seen you going out and getting a third class in an E50M. Shame on you. Anyway, let's jump in the room. We're already into the quarterfinals here. 4 CTH8 have already turned up. We're still waiting, however, for HLV. They're not here yet, but they'll be here soon. Oops, forgot that again, look. Ta-da! Eyes be back. Okay, so we have Evan in a Vickers, Halfer in a Cranwagon, Kato in an E100 potentially, Maxbet in an E5, Myth Stargazer in a Mouse, Infernus, what was it? Infernus, it was Infernus, I was right, in an IS4, and, oh, I can't remember this one. Sun, of course it's Sun. Sun potentially an E100. So, potentially. Not yet. So we'll just wait for them to calm down. Oh, it stands for Actung, does it? There you go. Thank you, M3 Radio Angel. I didn't know that. So there we are. I can call them Actung now, rather than 4CHT8. That's always good to know. Thank you very much for telling me that. So I'm going to call you Actung from now on. Oh, I think he blew that one, my kid. But there we go. So we've got the teams here. 2 minutes to go. They're not going to fully pick their meta just yet, but expect to see a couple of super heavies, E100s, maybe a mouse. So it looks like HLV are going to be readying up first. We have Safety Zone in his T22, 7710 in the AMX50B, and Joy Solo Q. He does like his mouse, so he probably will ready up in a mouse. From Abyss coming in the T22, Koyu in the AMX50B, so a double 50B strat here from HLV. Rush in an IS4 and Suruzu in an IS4. Moving over to Actung, we have Evan in the Vickers Light, Alpha in the Kranwagen, Kato in the E100, Max Bet in the E5, Myth Stargazer in the Mouse, Infamous in the E5, and Sun in the IS4. HLV will be going out on the North Spawn, Actung on the South. So less than a minute to go now before kickoff. And we're being serenaded by the saxophone. 30 seconds, near as damn it. Just waiting for Enjoy Solo Q. He'll ready up shortly. We say. And there we go. So with those 50Bs in mouses, maybe when we did the flyover, that's where they're going to be going. Looking at the way Acton have lined up, again, the E100 and the mouse possibly going to where we showed it. We don't know yet. We don't know yet. As I said, multiple strats. So I'm expecting the 50Bs to head towards the A cap along with the mouses, just peeling off around the corner. I'm expecting the other side. I'm expecting the Vickers of Evan and the T22 of Safety Zone to be tussling with each other to an extent around the C cap. And maybe an IS4 trying to drop into that B cap. Well, we're going to find out very shortly. And there we go, from Abyss and Safety Zone heading towards the C cap as we predicted. What about the Vickers of Evan? No, he's going nowhere near it. Why would he? One light tank against two mediums would not be a good idea. As you can see, we've got the E100 and the mouse pulling down into that middle area as we game predicted, with the rest of the team heading towards the A cap. C cap will be taken, so the cap advantage will go to HLV. And, oh, they're taking the middle strat area. Suruzu was looking to try and get into the B cap, but he's not going to. Because it's going to be too risky now for him, and he knows that. A cap has now been taken by Actung, and they're going to try and rotate round, try and get this flank working, pushing down onto Enjoy Solo Q, who's now been spotted. Enjoy Solo Q here could be in a bit of danger. It's got 2E5 side on. They do get one shot in. They don't double tap, but the Kranwagen of Alpha Omega does manage to get a good roll into him. Enjoy Solo Q now in a bit of danger. And he's got to back out of there, else he's going to be in trouble. Hit points, well, they are in favour of Actung, but base points at the moment are in favour of HLV. Macbeth here looking like he's worse for wear. He got really smacked around. Those 50Bs targeting him. Suruzu coming into Alp Solo Q. Now they're going to push. Oh, I'm too busy in the building. Now they're going to push down onto Macbeth and Infamous, pushing these E5s back to where they came. Let's move over to the middle area. You can see here we've got the Kranwagen and the Superheb is now trying to rotate round. Macbeth quite rightly staying out there and trying to use the cover and the hit points of his teammates. But look at HLV stacking their tanks up down this flank. There is a danger, but the AMX 50Bs down goes Infamous. So what started as quite a good move has ended in disaster for Actung here. They have now got to be careful. They are 500. They were 100 points behind. They are slowly and steadily bleeding HLV, but they've now got a gun down, and Macbeth is a two-shot. Look at this, Abyss coming around to take on Alpha Omega. Alpha Omega now in a little bit of trouble. He's got to get out of there. And Actung just got to hold their composure a little bit. The AMX of 7710 now coming in to look at Kato Magamu. And all Safety Zone getting around the back. Puts a good shot in. Kato in serious harm here. Kato could be going down here. Oh, but 7710 is out, but doesn't matter. The other AMX 50B of Kuru puts a great side shot in, saving the bacon there. Now we've got Rush being pushed by Myth Stargazers. Oh, Rush goes down, but the Myth Stargazers did lose half his HP. Down goes Macbeth. The E5s are out. So HLV do, at this moment in time, have control of this game. Down goes Alpha Omega. Myth Stargazer, they're pushing onto Saruzu, but it's going to be too little, too late. There's far too much HP out there. Down goes Myth Stargazers. Sun is now going to be targeted. Down goes Sun, courtesy of Biss. Evan, the only man standing in the C cap, manages to take the cap, which is good. He's got the cap points, but it's all over anyway, on points before Evan could do anything. Great stuff there. Like I said, what started it as what looked like a very nice push from the E5s, trying to get around the back, trying to single out Enjoy Solo Q there, absolutely ended in disaster, with Enjoy Solo Q dishing out almost 4k in damage in that mouse. He was able to get out the danger zone, and the rest of HLV just managed to come in, help with the support, allowing the 50Bs to push through the middle, and really good focus fire there by HLV. Unfortunate for Actum, they looked like they were being, they were going to give HLV a pretty good game there, but it just wasn't to be. Unfortunately, because HLV were able to just rotate their tanks back in, offer the support, share those hit points, and more importantly, get their focus fire almost spot on. Changing those spawn points now here on Mayan Ruins. This time HLV on the south spawn and Acton on the north. HLV, we have Safety Zone again in the T22, 7710 in the 50B. Enjoy Solo Q still in his mouse. From Abyss again in the T22. Koyu in the AMX 50B again. Rush also in the IS4 and Saruzu also in the IS4. No changes to the meta for HLV. Moving over to Actung, Evan in the Vickers. Alpha in the AMX 50B. Kato in the E5, Max in the AMX 50B, Myth Stargazer in the E100, Infamous now in a Kranwagen, and Sun in an E5. So a double 50B strat here for Acton now. It's very, very good. Yeah, Jack, it's the background music is my 10-year-old in his music lesson on the saxophone. So HLV already got one foot in today's semi-final here in Group 2. Can Acton spoil that party? It's possible. As you can see there, hit points, nothing really in it. 400, that's nothing to be fair. Not really. Not at this level. Let's go up high into the back of this map. As you can see, HLV making a beeline for the middle area. With the T22s again, heading towards that C-cap. Let's rotate over and see what Actung are going to be doing. Well, we got the Vickers of Evan going to the middle area, trying to get those early spots, overlooking the B-cap. Can't spot anything, so he's going to go up high. That could be dangerous, because he's going to spot those 50Bs, and those 50Bs are going to see him. He's going to manage to get out of there just about. He puts a shot across to try and get something into that safety zone in the C-cap, but he manages to escape. A-cap again is being taken, this time by the E5s of Sun and Kato. And we've just got the Myth Stargazers coming through the middle. The Vickers hightailing it out of there. Best thing he can do. Because, Infamous getting double tapped as he tries to come down to get away from Rush. Trying to see where they've sent their 50Bs here. They're just holding them back in reserve at the moment. There, they are both there, staying out of sight. Trying to just hold in reserve and be sort of support tank at this moment. Poor old Infamous. He's really in a tricky spot here. He's being focused heavily. He needs to get out of dodge. And as he tries, safety zone also getting a beeline on him. Infamous here is going to go down, and down he goes. Good stuff by HLV. Great positioning. And as you can see, the 250Bs just looking for this down that route. If anything comes through towards that B-cap, they are going to be able to smack it and double tap it. And that is going to be Really, really nasty if anything comes down there. At the moment, nothing is looking not coming down there. Although Stargazers is there and the 50Bs know that. The AMXs still haven't moved yet for Acton. And they are down on base points. And there goes Stargazers. Comes around the corner. Gets a double tap from the 50Bs for his trouble. Plus another tap from the IS-4 Saruzu. Kato trying to come round onto Enjoy Solo Q again. Enjoy Solo Q. He's getting quite good at dragging tanks towards him. Poor old Stargazers, the E100 here, is really getting pummeled. He's got to be very careful. Those 50Bs are not out of ammunition. If he sticks his nose out a little bit more, he is going to get double and triple tapped again. Enjoy Solo Q here looking to push down on Kato. And why not? I mean, he's in a big lumbering mouse, whereas Kato's in an E5. The 50Bs are now starting to move. Macbeth is coming in, and Alpha Omega is coming in. So here we go. Saruzu's pushing down onto Smith Stargazers. So we're going to see a bit of a brawl. Look at the T-22s though, and the IS-4 there of Rush just in support. Poor old Myth Stargazers really getting bullied here. This time into Joy Solo Q. The 50Bs are rotating round the back to try and push on to Kato. Kato's in a world of pain now. The Vickers of Heaven, no point going down there, my friend. You will get wrecked. Stargazers coming around the corner and getting whacked for his troubles. Down goes Kato. Stargazer's going to go down. Enjoy Solo Q will take him out, and he does. Sun now is in a world of pain. So is Macbeth. HLV have just got control of this map, to be perfectly honest with you. Abyss and Safety Zone really giving Sun a hard time. Rush fingering him off. Macbeth loading up in the AMX, but now getting into trouble. Trying to get shots into Rush, but he's now going to be farmed by the T-22s. Rush again finishing him off. Alpha Omega, he's now going to try and get something into them as well. Rush was the target, but the T-22s round the corner of Safety Zone, whilst the rest of the Super Heavies pushing down on him. Down he goes, out for the count, leaving Evan standing last again. He's down in his own spawn. He is a one-shot. Not much he can do. He survives like he did the last game, but the points go to HLV. Convincing stuff by HLV. Really convincing. Good focus fire, good communication, good movement around the map, and good positioning. Something that Acton, obviously, a couple of points Acton need to learn from. It's positioning realistically, and don't try to push your tanks too quickly around those flanks. Because whilst there is a mouse there looking like he's isolated and easy prey, he is there for a reason. He's got a lot of hit points. You're not going to get him out unless there's more than 3 tanks. And by taking more than 3 tanks, you're taking guns out of the battle. And that is the point. Hence the reason why Enjoy Solo Q is there in that mouse. It allows the rest of the team to move around the map and put paid to anything. Notwithstanding that though, really good stuff from Acton. I hope to see you back again, guys. You know, keep working on it. You're going to get better, and you're going to give them a hard time, and you will turn over HLV. So commiserations to Acton, and congratulations to HLV. They will present themselves into the semi-final. Do we know who's in the semi-final as of yet? Oh, he dropped another chord. So they will be facing off with ENT on Faust, followed by Port Bay. So let's have a look at Faust. I do have Faust somewhere. There it is. Faust is always a tricky map on the tournament circuit. It's an interesting map, as I say, like most of the maps are, but this one's a tricky one because it offers multiple possibilities. Now, what you generally get in... There are 4 caps. You've got the D cap, the C cap down in the diff, the B cap out in the middle there, and then the A cap right at the top. Now, what you generally get in random games is an A cap strat with the brawling around this area, I'd say 75% of the time, or teams going en masse here and brawling around these ramps. What you get in tournaments, however, is slightly different, and it depends what meta they take and what they do. Sometimes both teams, regardless of which spawn, will try and push their mediums or light up here to try and have a look to see if they can get any spots, to see if anything's coming into the A cap. If there isn't, then they'll probably pop in and try and take it. The other alternative is some teams like to send a heavy tank like an IS-4 or something into this bush just to overlook that B cap. And as you can see from the other side, there's a mirror image of another bush right there, and from the other spawn they like to go to that position. Some clans like to do a sneaky strat and move straight into the B cap and use this to sort of contain a trailer tanker thing, train, and use it as cover whilst being able to sort of cap this. And if they can cap the D or the C cap at the same time, it's good. Then you do get a few clans liking to position around this area up at the top, trying to get those shots across. But generally you will find the brawls around this area in the... it all depends. If they're going to be overly aggressive, I've seen teams take this cap and the alternative cap and then push right through and take the battle to them, pushing through, going down, straight onto here, into that cap, and then pushing through. But we will see. We will see. And we've all, what was the other one? Port Bay, but we've already seen Port Bay. We've already done a flyover on Port Bay. I think it was Port Bay. Was it Port Bay? Let's have a look at the chart. So E7 and ID are already through to the semi-finals. E7 turning over ECG, and they will face Team ID. So we're still waiting for the results of the other games in that one. Moving down, semi-finals, well, we have HLV. As we know, they are going to be against ENT, which means Feast will be against Cats. We are just awaiting the results of GV, I believe, who are still playing EA. And I don't know what happened to RN. RN are still playing DUR, so we're still waiting on those. Still waiting on those. So, oh, I forgot. We should be going out in about 20 minutes, roughly. Yeah, about 20 minutes. So let's get some replays up and running if I've got any. Let's have a look. So this is Roadblock from Feast. Hey, thank you Roadblock for sending this across. Out in his E3. You don't need to see my ugly mug for this, so see you in a minute. Oh, I do like the E3. To be honest with you, it's a bully of a tank. It's very nice. Not comment. Absolutely M3 Radio Angel. The guys are, you know, HLV are one of the best clans on the Asia tour. So there's nothing to be ashamed of. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. They gave them a good go. It wasn't one-sided. It wasn't a 7-0, and they'll get some great experience from facing the likes of HLV to build up on. To be built on, that's all. So no, there is nothing to be ashamed of whatsoever. Wasn't me who removed it, Jack. I appreciate it was a compliment. I didn't see it. I just when you just said, "Where's my comment?" I just had a look at the chat and saw that one had been deleted. Oof, that is a lovely engine fire. From that position, it didn't look like it. It didn't look like, in fact, what am I doing? A bit stupid. He should be one of those, to be fair. should be one of those. Yep, it is going to be HLV versus ENT. That's the next game. No, Cloudy. It's been removed. That is a great roll into the Ho-Re. Tricky tank, the Ho-Re, but that's the tier 9 version, it's not the tier 10. The tier 10 version is even trickier to pen. As you can see here, I mean Roadblock is a great player, and I mean he's already at 5.5k. Already at 5.5k, and that's the first real damage he's taken himself. There's only 2 tanks left, and they're both one-shots to him. So, I mean, this is just the caliber of these pro players, and this is a random game. So, you know, some people when you see these when you see these tournaments, you think, oh god, they're not that great. Actually, it's a different tournaments are completely different. And that's the thing, it's a different scenario, a different style of gameplay. And he didn't even get a mastery there, 6.3k, 3 kills. Clearly carried the team because there were 2 zeros, and well, so he didn't even get it. Jack, I'll explain to you in a minute. So come on then, Demigod. Let's see your real replay, shall we? So there we go. Oh, kept that up and running. Shouldn't have done that. My bad. It happens, Demigod. It's out there now. Once seen, it cannot be unseen. To be honest. No. This time, Demigod, yeah? This time, yeah? Hi. It's pretty difficult for me to interact with you guys because there is a delay on the stream. Which comment? Oh, now, Jackson, there is you have the ability to find your comment. Sometimes, however, Google, and it's not one of the moderators we put in, Google actually still moderates. There's a Google moderator, by the way, on all YouTube channels. And Google moderator sometimes removes it. And the streamer doesn't see the removal of the comment. Already, Demigod, you've done more. You've done quadruple the amount of damage you did in your third class game. pool. Oh, I do like the new legendary camo for the Jaegeru. It is pretty funky, I must admit. It does look nice. Does look nice, look at it. Oh, yeah. That's a better game. That's a better game. That deserves more than a third class. Still only a first class. you have to get a lot higher than 5.8k nowadays in an E50M. It's a nightmare. You've got to be breaking 6.5k sometimes. And the reason being is it's just this one here. Assistance damage is low. That's the only thing. That's the only reason. Anyway, we should be getting the invite coming through very shortly. Although I've got 6-7 minutes. I haven't got enough time to play another replay, unfortunately. As I would. But we know from the chart who's in what and what is who. So there we go. Semi-finals. E7 GV ID RN. So DER going down, EA going down, ECG going down, SQ going down in the quarters. Moving down to Group 2, Feast, HLV, ENT and CAT. EGS going down, PGMT going down, as well as Actung and TVP. So pretty much no major surprises, to be honest with you. I mean, these are all pretty much top 8 clans on the Asia server. So I'm not overly surprised with the clans that are through to today's semi-final here on PYS. And of course, now they're in the semi-final, they will make it into tomorrow. So there we go. So now we're just waiting. We'll get the invite coming through in about roughly a minute. Somebody else has sent me a replay, but I can't play it because we haven't got time. To be honest with you. Fruit is also sending me a replay, but it's just a tactical review, so we'll look at that later. Yeah, Asia server is the only server I'm not in a clan. And I refuse to join a clan until I get an E5, basically. I need the meta. So HLV so far, not really put a foot wrong. Let's be honest. Admittedly, they had an easy opening game against Crank. Although with only 6 players, you would have thought that it would have been a bit harder, but alas, it wasn't. And I mean, Actung gave them a good battle, to be honest with you. But now it starts getting a bit more complex for HLV. Now they've got to pull their finger out a little bit more and start playing to the level that they can play at. ENT is going to be a tough opponent for them. So let's jump into the room and ready up and jump back out again, as we do. As I said, we're normally going on the just over 3-minute mark, so that is very true. NetForce, action has been taken, so we won't be seeing that clan name, that ING. The mosquito flying past me. Oh, it's always, this is the part that I always don't like, the anticipation, you know, of waiting for the game to start. It's, you know, 'cause you want to see the action, don't you? It's the action you want. You want to see the action. Oh, I want to see the action anyway. Oh, look at that. I forgot to come back online. Hey, I'm back. So jump in the room in a moment. There's no rush, because what's the point? Let's have a look, see what we've got. Well, we will have ENT on the North spawn, HLV on the South spawn. HLV are not here yet, but we do have ENT here. Clutch in a Kranwagen, Devil in an IS-4, Ken Walls in an IS-4, Roses are Rosie in an E5, a renamed user in a T22, Striker in an E5, and my favourite name, Fat Batman in an E5. We are waiting for HLV. Looking at that lineup, those 3 all-down tanks there, 4 all-down tanks there. The T22, the IS-4s are not particularly got great gun depression, but the Kranwagen and the E5s do. It's going to be a difficult one to pull. Are they going to be looking for possibly up the top A cap with pressure on the B cap, or are they going to be looking for domination, sending that T22 to the A cap? Try get an easy cap, and the rest of the team just bunkering down around the C cap. Well, we don't know. We'll find out shortly. HLV slowly but surely turning up. They've still got over 2 minutes. So at the moment we have Safety Zone again in his T22. 7710 now hopping into a Kranwagen. From Abyss also in a Kranwagen. Koyu in a T22. Rush in the IS-4. Soruzu in an IS-4. And Blood at the moment, Blood and Wine is just sitting on the bench at the moment. So we're still waiting for player number 7 to turn up. But they have got just under 2 minutes, so it's not like they're under immense pressure here at this moment in time. This is the semi-final in the group stage of Prove Your Skill number 2, group number 2. So winner of this semi-final will go on to the final for group 2 here today. The loser, however, it's not there at the end. They will go into the 3rd place playoff. And play the loser of the other semi-final. We still haven't got a full... Well, we've got a full team, but we haven't got a full team readied up yet for HLV. Still waiting for a player. Which it looks to me like it's going to be Enjoy Solo Q. I don't know where Enjoy Solo Q is yet. He's missing from the lineup. Hoping that they're not having connection issues. And there he is. And guess what? He's in his mouse. Enjoy Solo Q, strangely, is in his moose. It's always a good thing. So no change to the lineups from what we said when we ran through them. We will find out what will be going on in just over 10 seconds. Here on Faust. Really, always a strategically good map. And I'm looking forward to see how they're going to approach this one. I'm expecting those T22s to be making a heading over to that A-cap area. We just don't know. Devil Anthem. What a great name. Hit points, well, 200 points separate the two, but that's absolutely nothing at this level. Seriously. Anyway, let's get up high to the back of the map. Well, rename user is not heading towards the A-cap. It looks like they are going to do a C-Strat ENT with Ken Walls in the IS-4, probably going to park himself in that bush, as we pointed out. On the other side, HLV are heading for the A-cap. Enjoy Solo Q in his IS-4. He dropped out of the mouse. He is also looking to go into his little bush, the opposite bush to Ken Walls. ENT, fast capping C, and then carrying their push through and under towards that D-cap. D-cap has not been capped. A-cap has been. Now, what they're doing here, HLV, they're not capping D, so everybody thinks that they've rushed all the way up to the A cap. That is what we call a feint, and that's quite a good move, to be honest with you. They have now seen From Abyss, however, in the Crown Wagon, but they haven't seen Rush and Saruzu, who are just waiting behind these rocks, waiting for ENT to push over the top to give them, well, something, let's say a hidden surprise. So Devil Anthem dropping into the D cap, so cap advantage will go to ENT here with their double cap. And Joy Solo Q is trying to tussle down there with Keng Wars. The T22 is just holding back at the moment of HLV. And Joy Solo Q, no rush on Keng Wars. And now they're spurring interaction HLV over the other side. The Crown Wagon going up a 7-7-10 to take on Fat Batman. He is being joined by Rush and Saruzu. So there is going to be a bit of a push here, counter push. They're not interested in the caps. HLV, they're trying to get down their clutch, and the Crown Wagon is right over in the back where we normally get a TD. And you can see here they're trying to push down on the E5 of Roses or Rosie. And they're going to try and surround Rosie here. Rush trying to get side shots in. Rosie's in a bit of a tough start. And as you can see, they are going to be able to finish off Rosie. So I'm going to leave that and move back over to the spawn because Koryu in the T22 is now in a world of pain. Fat Batman should be able to finish him. Yes, he does. But Fat Batman now is also in a world of pain. Rosie's gone down. So does Fat Batman. So at the moment, points are in favour of ENT, but that's about it. They do not have the guns on the battlefield, but they do have the HP. Devil Anthem now is being pushed. Crown Wagon of 7-7-10 now on his long reload, but safety zone on the T22 coming around and just finishing off Devil Anthem. But he runs straight into Striker, who finishes him off. So Koryu's down, safety zone down, and Joy Solo Q down. And at the moment, ENT have the advantage here. Now Striker here tussling with From Abyss. Rush needs to get around there because From Abyss is on his long reload. But forget that because we've got lots of action coming down here. And I just can't get there. Saruzu in Keng Wars, they are tussling. Keng Wars is winning this battle at the moment. Saruzu is a one-shot and down he goes to clutch. This is looking good stuff from ENT. Rush is being pressured by renamed user as he tries to support From Abyss, waiting for From Abyss to get that reload, and he's almost got it. He tries to put a shot into Striker. Renamed user pushing around onto Rush. Rush in trouble here, and so is From Abyss. And renamed user trying to take out From Abyss. That may have been his undoing. Rush may be able to load up and take down. Oh, he does, but From Abyss also goes down. It's 1 against 3. Crown Wagon of 7-7-10. He is loading, he is emptied, and that's not good for 7-7-10. He's not in a good position. He is being pushed by Keng Wars. So ENT are going to take this. They are going to win this one. As you can see there, down he goes, taken out by Clutch. So, congratulations to ENT there, showing that they're quite dominant in their strat. Played it particularly well. One of the problems that you have, as you can see with the Crown Wagon, is once you've expended the clip, the reload is very long, and that's one of the issues there. But really well played by ENT, taking the battle to HLV, dominating the map, good focus fire, good movement, and really getting in amongst HLV and giving them some pain. Back out on Faust, swapping those spawn points. This time ENT on the south spawn and HLV on the north spawn. So the teams have readied up with their meta selection. We have Clutch in a Crown Wagon, Devil's Anthem in an IS4, Keng Wars in an E5, Roses or Rosie in an E5, Renamed User in a T22, Striker in an E5, and Fat Batman in an E5. Moving over to HLV, we have Safety Zone in a T22, 7-7-10 in a Crown Wagon, and Joy Solo Q in the IS4, From Abyss in a Crown Wagon, Koryu in a T22 medium, Rush in an IS4, and Saruzu in an IS4. HLV will be looking to put some pressure back on to ENT here, whereas ENT, well, they'll be looking to progress themselves into the final today at the expense of HLV. And on what we've just seen, clearly it is possible they can do that and put some pain onto HLV. Hello Thailand, how are you? And welcome to the stream, my friend. Again, hit points, well, this time HLV, they got a slight advantage. You know, when I say slight advantage, I mean like, really, really tiny. Let's get a pie into the back. ENT, well, what are they looking to do this time? Well, they're looking to do pretty much the same as they did last time, but in mirror. And it looks like HLV are kind of doing the same thing, although this time only Safety Zone is heading to the A cap. Koryu and Saruzu, well, they're going to fast cap C. Joy Solo Q again into his little bush. Keng Walls again into his little, also into his little bush. So the cap point and the cap advantage this time will definitely go to HLV. They're going to have 2 caps. And again, Crown Wagons of Abyss in 7-7-10 just holding back. Hopefully trying to sucker them in. Koryu getting a bit of a bloody nose this time because, yet again, ENT pushing through, going through their cap and taking the battle to HLV. But HLV this time I think are going to be wiser to this. They've kept Koryu in the T22 back. Remember last time they sent them both to the A cap. And if you can see here, what's going on, we got Safety Zone trying to come round. Rush has gone down. And the Crown Wagons are just holding back along with Saruzu. C is now being capped by Devil Anthem. But Saruzu looking to reset it and he doesn't. The reset was not made. So now HLV have not got the cap advantage anymore. That will be taken, well, they have at the moment, but it will be taken away from. From Abyss is moving up. He's going to be joined by 7-7-10, and Saruzu is going to be looking at taking on Devil's Anthem, but Devil's Anthem does have support. That's a good shot in by Saruzu. Now Fat Batman is going to push down on Saruzu. He's going to come into contact with 7-7-10, who crosses and gets smacked as he crosses, but is Abyss going to get smacked as well? No, he's not. Moving over, wow, Rush and Enjoy Solo Q. Rush is covering Keng, while Enjoy Solo Q caps, and Safety Zone is going to move round. Back over to here, Saruzu's now a one-shot. He is in a world of pain. Devil's Anthem can sense it. Tries to come round, but they all miss. And Saruzu here in trouble. He is in trouble. This is good stuff by ENT. Down goes Saruzu. And again, ENT are bleeding HLV. We're going to stay with this little tussle at the moment because they're having struggles now with the Crown Wagons and finishing off the likes of Fat Batman and Roses of Rosier. Just helping out. Now comes in renamed user, and it looks like 7-7-10 may go down. No, Fat Batman goes first, then 7-7-10. Devil's Anthem, wow, he's a one-shot, but there's nobody over here except from Abyss. Moving back over to the map, Keng Wars finally gets taken down. So 2 tanks down on each team, and if you look, the points are in favour currently with ENT. Striker is still fairly very healthy. Devil's Anthem is not. He is a one-shot, but he's pretty much safe at the moment. HLV now have 3 caps, so they will start to get a big benefit in a moment, and they should overtake ENT, but they've got to get tanks out the game, and the target is going to be Devil's Anthem. But they've got to find him first. Now they've found him, Safety Zone will probably rush onto Devil's Anthem without really giving too much worry about taking shots. He just wants the tank gone, and you can see here Safety Zone is exactly doing that. Gets around the side. Oh, he bounces! That is a big, big bounce, but it's a mutual bounce. Safety Zone, and he bounces again! 2 bounces! This is very, very unheard of at this level, but Devil's Anthem, and he bounces a 3rd time! Oh my god! This is not what they wanted. Now they've lost tanks. Oh dear, Safety Zone, 3 bounces could have cost the game there, and it will cost them their place in the final. It's now 2 against too many. All because of those bounces. Safety zone will be kicking himself, because that should have been an easy kill. Now they're in a world of pain. It has lost them the match. Kuru is the last man standing. He can't do anything. He is a one-shot, and he's got far too many tanks, and it's all over. Wowzers. Poor safety zone. He really needed to take out Devil's Anthem there, and he got 3 bounces in a row. He will be mightily miffed, because the idea was take out the tank, rejoin the rest of the team to put pressure on the other tanks. By failing to take out Devil's Anthem and bouncing him 3 times, he was not able to do that. It's not Safety Zone's fault. RNG clearly was not in his favour, but at this level, when you bounce in missed shots like that, it is a game changer and it will cost you. And it did. So congratulations, ENT. Massive commiserations to HLV. But that's the way the game rumbles, unfortunately. I guarantee you this. He will be kicking himself for those bounces. Absolutely kicking himself. Who have HLV got in the 3rd place playoff? Well, we don't know yet. Because, wow. No, I think it's Devil's Anthem, Ginny Gin. So we don't know yet. How did the other matches go out? Wow, in today's semi-final, we've still got E7 and ID playing. So what about RN? Well, RN are through to the finals today, turning over GV 2-0. So we are just waiting on this result, E7 and GV. Moving down, Feast against Cats. They're still playing, so I can't really play a replay, because as soon as we get the results, we will get the room for 3rd place, and we're following HLV, so I can't really do a replay. I've got to wait for the results, guys. And I know that's pretty boring to watch, because all you're looking at is me clicking on things and trying to get the results of things. But unfortunately, that's just the way it works. We still haven't got a result, you see, in Feast game as of yet. So that's what we're waiting for. It may have gone to a decider, and if it goes to a decider, then we've got literally another 7 minutes to wait, because this game was Cats in Feast, and Cats are playing particularly nicely at the moment. So, but as I said, I can't really show a replay, because as soon as this finishes, then boom, it's going. You're going to get the 3rd place playoff. So we just got to wait out a moment, and I'm going to show you my garage while I just pop to the little men's room. Right, let's see. I'm back now from the little men's room. And let's see if we've got a result. Oh, there you go. Necro will tell you. So there you go. Thanks for the update, Necro. So, have we got a result yet? No, we still don't have a result. Oh, I forgot the R in Necro. Sorry, sorry, mate. Sorry. Still no result. It must have gone to a decider. This must be going to a decider. It must be a tough game here in the semi-final of the group stage in Group 2, but we don't know. But we do know the final here. It's going to be ID against E7. That is the final here. E7 turning over. No, they're still in the semi-final. What am I talking about? RN are in the final so far. So E7 and ID are still tussling as well. They must have gone to a decider also. So these are close games up here between Feast and Cats, and ID against E7. These are clearly tough matches that they're playing. I'm not supporting any team. I do love that name though, Cloudy Snow, Fat Batman. I think that's a great name. I think that's awesome, that name. I think that's one of the best names I've seen. Feast going down to Cats. They will go out in about 4 minutes against HLV. There you go. What about in the top group? E7 turning over ID. They will go out against RN in the final. There we go. So we should have had the invite. We have indeed got the invite. I'm back. Hello, I'm back. So it's Feast against HLV. E7 against RN. ID failing to go through. And they will now go into the third place against GV. And in the final here, while it's ENT, they are facing off against Cats. Let's jump in. We're going out on Canal. We've already seen that. We've already done a flyover of Canal. Feast have read it up first. They are on the south spawn. We have Bifrost in the MX-50B, F Silver in the T22, Hidden Surprise in the E5, Winter Fox in the E5, Zepak in the E5, Sleeping Lion in the IS4, and hopefully Sugar Magoo, not in the T22, but he was. He's now in the MX-50B. Oh. Moving over to HLV, where we have Safety Zone in the Vickers, 7710 in the MX-50B, From Abyss in the MX-50B, Saruzu in the IS4. We're still waiting for Blood and Twine along with Enjoy Solo Q and Koyu. Bifrost is also not rated up. Also, they've still got 2.5 minutes, so they've still got plenty of time. It's not like they're under pressure here, because they're not. There we go. Blood is in the IS4. Enjoy Solo Q back in his Moose. Koyu in the IS4, Saruzu now jumping into a WZ113, Bifrost jumping into an E5, so Sugar Magoo is in the MX-50B, just a single MX-50B here on Canal. Blood and Wine, well, tentatively is in an IS4, but may change that again. Still got just over 2 minutes to go, so it's not like they're under pressure, because they're not. And he drops into a 113 also. So going from ability here are HLV. That's interesting. That is interesting. Quite a lot of mobility on both sides of the equation. Bloody One again is tentatively changing. We're trying to work out who's going to go out in the 113. It's a great tank as well, the 113. It does suffer from its armor profile on the lower hull, but mobility-wise it's beautiful. And, well, E5 seemed to be the order of the day. Double 50B strat, however, for HLV, what with 7710 in From Abyss. And it is going to be E5s. Blood and Saruzu both jumping into an E5. So we now have less than a minute before kickoff. Yeah, that's the problem. You don't always know who's in what clan. I also think that Smick is in ENT. So, but we don't know that, and Spicy wouldn't know that either. To be fair, and Spicy is right. He is a mod, and he is trying to sort of say don't trash the teams. So, so everybody's in the right. To be fair. Anyway, less than 10 seconds now for this third place playoff. And we are off here on Canal. Always a fantastic map. Strategically a good map. It's all about base points. It's all about capping. It's all about putting pressure on the other team. So, hit points, well, 400 difference in favour of HLV, but 400 is nothing. So let's see how this one pans out. Let's get up high. And as we did on the flyover, we've got nobody going to D for HLV. We've got Kuyu who's going to jump into that B cap, and the rest of the team heading for the A cap. Feast, on the other hand, sending their T22s to the D cap. Kuyu completely avoiding the B cap and rushing straight through towards the C cap area. It takes a massive roll, however, but well, he tried to decap C, but it didn't work, so cap advantage will go to Feast. Now Feast, all they need to do is now defend. The B cap will be taken, the A cap will be taken, but HLV are on the back foot here on Canal, and this is the crucial part of Canal, grabbing those caps, putting your enemy and opponent under the pressure to make their push. Now, realistically, the only push that can be made for HLV is into that C cap. And if we have a look at the way Feast are now going to stack up behind it, well, they're only going to stop that C cap from being taken. F Silver, however, he gets a little bit over anticipatory there and gets a lot of damage taken out of him for his troubles. I don't think he wanted to do that. And as you can see, Feast are, well, they're going to position themselves ready and waiting. They have got the advantage. It's only 30 odd points, but an advantage in an advantage. Sugar Magoo is coming around here, just in case anything tries to come down this flank. But as I said, realistically, the only option open to HLV now is to try and get that C cap, or wait for Feast to make a mistake and smack them to oblivion. Sleeping Lion is really forward here. He doesn't need to be. Not really. And he is being bled. And as you can see, at the moment, Feast have been bled quite a lot more than HLV. I don't know why Feast are being so aggressive here when they do have a massive advantage. We've got Sugar Magoo here in the 50B, really well forward. The 50Bs are now going to make a move, and Joy Solo Q's pushing forward. It's going to be a double push, and we got two 50Bs trying to pressure down on Sugar Magoo, and Sugar Magoo could be in trouble here. And again, Feast really didn't need to do this. On the other side, the back towards the C cap, well, Blood in Wine is trying to push in with safety zone. Bifrost can see the danger, and they're now moving forward into Blood in Wine, trying to get him out the game. If they get him out the game, it'll be a big thing. But Feast have already lost F Silver, and this is good stuff from HLV and confusing stuff by Feast. Sleeping Lion is now exposed. Sugar Magoo is a two shot. Sleeping Lion is now exposed, and HLV can potentially get the advantage here when it was pretty much a difficult advantage to take. Sleeping Lion is a one shot. This is turning into a brawl when it didn't need to be. Sleeping Lion is going to go down here, and Joy Solo Q takes him out. Now HLV are in command of this game, moreover than Feast. Feast are jumping into the B cap. Hidden surprise over there. He manages. Sleepy Lion's down. F Silver's down. Kuyu's down. Blood and Wine is down. Safety Zone is down. Feast have got the advantage back again. It's a strange but interesting game. Down goes from Abyss in the 50B. James now is a one-shot. But Enjoy Solo Q is looking somewhere else. Trying to fend off Bifrost. Now he sees James Bond. Well, 007 James. And he's going to go down and put a roll into him. There he does. It's 3 against, well, not many. But look at the one-shots there. Down goes Hidden Surprise. Now Enjoy Solo Q is going to be pushed by G9. Previously Professor of Feast. And it's 3 on 3. But the hit points are favouring HLV. But the cap points do not. Bifrost just needs to stay safe. Sugar Magoo has managed to survive the entire battle. Feast are tantalizingly close. G9 getting wrapped there by... And he bounces Enjoy Solo Q. That could be disastrous. Down goes Bifrost. Sugar Magoo and G9. Both are two... Oh, no! It's going to turn and HLV get it. I am absolutely shocked. I'm shocked with the fact that... Look, it's not for me to criticise anybody's strats. I'm not a pro player at this level. But I am pretty much confused as to Feast's movements there, to be perfectly honest with you. They had the advantage, they had the control, and then they put themselves in positions that allowed them to be bled. Obviously we can see this, and they really can't see it, but interesting. And then of course there, G9 bouncing on the mouse didn't help. And again, as I say, bouncing at this level of the game really doesn't help. So, HLV's taking it there from Feast. And Feast put on the back foot quite substantially there. Back onto Canal, changing those spawn points. This time we have HLV on the south spawn, Feast on the north. That was interesting. That was an interesting game, to be honest with you. I think that was a game that sort of Feast threw away rather than lost, if you know what I mean. They sort, yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm going to scratch my head on that one for a bit longer. Anyway, Feast have read it up. Bifrost in the E5, F Silver in the T22, Hidden Surprise in the IS4, 007 James in the E5, G9 in the T22, Sleeping Lion in the IS4, and Sugar Magoo in the AMX50. Moving over to HLV, Safety Zone in the T22, 7710 in an E5, Blood and Wine in the IS4, Enjoy Solo Q in the Mouse, From Abyss in the IS4, Koyu in the Vickers, and Soruzu in the E5. So, HLV on top here. Can they consolidate on that? Or are Feast going to turn it around and take it to a decider? Only time will tell. Still getting over that last game. Feast had control and, well, they lost. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Let's get up high into the back of the map. And this time you can see Enjoy Solo Q in the Mouse is then towards the C cap, the Vickers and the T22 heading towards the D cap, along with the E5s. Moving over to see what Feast are doing. Well, B cap will be jumped into by Hidden Surprise. Again, it's taken a long time for HLV to get into that cap. T22s, G9 and F Silver coming across Safety Zone. Safety Drone dropping into the D cap and trying to stay into cover. Kuyu here is getting a bit of a smacking, as you can see, so he's got to get into a bit of a safer area. You can see the rest of the Feast team, apart from those at the B cap, are now coming up to support F Silver with a push onto the D cap area. No A cap strategy this time for either team. Feast are looking to possibly push through, but you can see support in numbers is coming for HLV. James getting a bit of a smacking there. Safety zone caps out, so the advantage on the caps will go to HLV. They will start accumulating those points, and with nobody going to the A cap from Feast, it is going to be pretty difficult for them. They need to take that cap, and they need to take tanks. And Joy Solo Q making a move across the bridge. He's in a mouse. He can take and absorb some of those hits. Although 650 into him there really doesn't help him. Now he's pretty much exposed. They've got cross shots onto him from here, and they really can farm him. He has to drop down. He has no choice. Isn't surprised the Sleeping Lion will chase him out though. Moving back over to this side, G9 is also considering pushing, but it's a bit of a brawl over this side at the moment. James and Blood and Wine are tussling. Saruzu is pushing up. Safety zone's coming in. 7-7-10 is coming in. Sugar Magoo getting a bit of a smack there from Abyss in the IS-4. Back down in the dip there, you can see Sleeping Lion is being harassed and harried. He is a mouse and he's got 2 IS-4s on him, and G9 also moving in. He's still alive, but he is now gone. He's doomed, he's gloomed, he's back out of there. But now, because they went for the mouse, they've got numbers against them here. HLV have the advantage. F Silver with a great shot into the Kuru. Safety zone going to chase down F Silver. 007 James and Bifrost just trying to get out of the danger area whilst trying to sort of track and rack Blood and Wine. Down goes James Bond. Well, James. Sugar Magoo is also looking worse for wear again. F Silver also worse for wear. HLV are bleeding here. The Feast team. Safety zone desperately trying to get shots into those tanks. And F Silver's down, Bifrost is down, 007 James is down, Sugar Magoo is going to go down. There he goes, rammed into oblivion. No, he wasn't. He was shot by Safety Zone. Sleeping Lion here is now out in the open. Not much he can do about it. From Abyss will go down, but so will Sleeping Lion. Saruzu will put one into his rear deck. There he goes. From Abyss did go down, but now it's only G9 left. And again, I'm surprised with Feast. Yes, the mouse was an easy target, but they took a lot of tanks out and sort of left themselves wide open on the other side, which didn't help. G9 going to go down. HLV are going to get this, and they do. It's all over. HLV getting third spot at the expense of Feast. So congratulations there to HLV. Commiserations to Feast. Now we may be lucky, and we may be able to jump into the remains of the final between Cats and ENT. At the moment, it's 0-0. So we're just going to wait out until they finish that battle, and then we can jump in. So we'll just wait for the battle to finish, because it's only just started. So we'll miss the first battle. We'll jump into the second battle here for the final in Group 2. So I'll just say ready. Boom. There we go. And now I can jump back out and we can look at what's been going down in the rest of the group stages. Looking at the chart. So GV went out against Team ID, and they're still playing, so they must have gone into a decider. And of course E7 and RN are playing. We won't know any results from that match just yet because they're still playing. They only went off at 36 minutes past the half hour. So we're going to jump back in here. Going to wait for the battle to finish. Hello Mr. President, how are you doing? So we'll just wait for this battle to finish, then we can see the next battle here on the final. And with that, what I'm going to do, if you don't mind, I'm just going to visit the little boys' room again. Okay, I'm back. They're still battling. We'll be there soon, though. Bro Brock. Привет. Я плохо говорю по-русски. По-английски, пожалуйста. So, we have a result. It is 1-0 to ENT. Now we can jump in. Hello, I'm back. We can now jump in and watch the next round of this final here on Naval Frontier. We will have Cats on the south spawn, ENT on the north spawn. Already it's 1-0 to ENT. Cats already at first with Eyelion in a mouse. Cost effective in an E5, Hermes in a T22, Mummy in a VK72, Axiom in an IS4, Temptation, I think that's Temptation, in an E5, and Lucas in an IS4. Although Hermes is now jumping into a Vickers Light and Lucas in a Kranwagen. Moving over to ENT, so far we have Clutch in a 50B. We're still waiting for the rest. Actually, we got Roses or Rosie in an E3, Rename User in an E5, potentially. Striker in a Vickers, Fat Batman in an IS4. Devil's Anthem is in an IS4. Ken Wars, actually, they're chopping and changing, so we don't know. We don't know. So, let's go through them again. Clutch in an AMX50B. Devil's Anthem in a Kranwagen. Chem Wars in an IS4, Roses Are Rosie in an E3, Rename User yet to ready up, potentially in a Kranwagen, Striker in a Vickers Light, and Fat Batman in an IS4. We're just waiting for, and there we go, Rename User is in a Kranwagen. Moving back over to Cats, well, no change to how we called it originally, so there we go. As I said, Cats are on the south spawn, ENT on the north spawn, he on Naval Frontier, with ENT 1-0 against Cats. It's axiomatic, sorry, I said axiom, sorry, it's axiomatic, of course it is. So, it's going to be an interesting one this. I do like Naval Frontier. It's a great map to play, especially at tournament level. Let's get up high and see where they're going to go. Okay, so from this angle we can see that Cats are looking for a C and B strat. I don't think they're going to be heading for them. Well, no, Hermes 29 there in the Vickers may be heading that way, but the R Axiomatic in the IS4 along with Lion is going to be looking for the C cap. With support from the E5s, Kranwagen of Lucario is going to be overlooking B. Vickers of Striker is already there. And again, we can see ENT are also doing a similar strat. Ken Wars, Fat Batman in the IS4s, covered by Roses of Rosie in the E3. Fat Batman is the one getting for the C-Cap. Rename User and Devil's Anthem overlooking, trying to get those shots into Axiomatic. They can only get HE rounds into him there, but it's enough to make him think twice and back out. Eyelion coming around to try and support, but it's what's going to go down over the other side of the A-cap. Hermes is going to come into close contact with Striker and Clutch. Clutch in an MX-50B really can put a lot of pain into poor old Hermes. They fail to track him. Hermes gets out of there, but the cap is not going to be taken. Back to the C-cap because that's where the action now is. Sorry, my mouse just went a bit mad again. So C-cap, now that he's got Lion there, it's giving it a little bit more oomph to allow Axiomatic to cap out. But A-cap and B-cap is being taken by ENT along with the C-cap now, Fat Batman. Moving over, where did the E5s go? Well, there they are, Cost Effective and Temptation there are trying to give cover to the IS4 of Axiomatic and Eyeline in the mouse. Hermes has come to join them. They're going to push over. Lucario and Mummy Milkers are, well, they're isolated. They can't do much. They've just got to hold their own over there at the moment as Cats try and get round onto Devil's Anthem. Devil's Anthem drops down and gets smacked from all quarters. Even doing so, Devil's Anthem is in a world of pain here. Hermes is coming down to try and finish him off. He should be able to. Yes, he does. So, Devil's Anthem is down. Now they can push on to Renamed User in his Crown Wagon out at the same time, dealing with Fat Batman. Although they're not going to push on Renamed User. It looks like Fat Batman is the target. Ken Wars is coming in to help out. Lucario and Mummy's Milkers are doing their best to hold the others at bay of ENT, and they're doing a sterling job. Lucario is almost down to no hit points though, but Fat Batman is going to go down here. Yes, the base points are in favour of ENT to an extent if they get the base, but it doesn't matter because they're losing tanks, which means the points are going in favour of Cat. Now they're trying to get rid of Ken Wars. Eyeline's a one-shot. Axiomatic is a one-shot. Clutch is fully loaded in the 50B, and he's trying to put pressure onto Lucario. Mummy Milkers taking down Roses of Rosia, but down goes the poor Clown Dragon. Mummy Milkers in the VK20 has done a sterling job in support here at the back. He's going to be looking to try and take out Clutch. He's not going to be caring about that VK. Moving back over here, Striker goes down to Mummy Milkers. Brilliant, brilliant. Temptation now pushing on to Clutch. Down goes Clutch, and it's all over. Cats bring it back here. Wowzers. Wowzers. Really good stuff from Cats. Really good pressure there. Hey, Joyce LOQ, how you doing? So, ENT going down there. Cats doing the sterling work. And look at this. Mummy Milkers really holding the fort there. Basically trying to hold fire from everything going through that A cap and B cap. That was a crucial role played by Mummy Milkers. Hermes also doing great stuff, spotting them, getting out there and getting right round. Don't underestimate Eyeline or Axiomatic though. They've also done a good job. And in fact, the whole team of Cats there really pulling together. That was absolutely fantastic to watch. We're now going to go into the tiebreaker. It is Mayan Ruins. This time we have Cats on the south spawn, ENT on the north. Cats have read it up. Eyeline in the mouse, cost effective in the T22. Hermes in the Vickers. Mummy Milkers in the VK72 again. Temptation in the E5. Jericho now coming in the E5. And Lucario in an IS4. Moving over to ENT. Clutch in the Clan Wagon, Devil's Anthem in the IS4, Ken Wars in a Crown Wagon, Roses or Rosie in an E5, Renamed User in an E5, Striker in an E5, and Fat Batman in an E5. So it's going to be looking interesting, this one. Only one super heavy, and that is the VK72 here on Mayan Ruins. No mouses. Oh no, Eyeline's in a mouse. What am I talking about? But no mouses at all for ENT. They're looking for mobility. They're looking to run around the map and take control here. Cats, however, are looking probably to dominate that middle area, A and B cap side. They have got that Vickers to get down to the C cap, so it's going to be an interesting one to see this. A lot of hold down tanks with decent gun depression for ENT. E5s and Crown Wagon. The only really super heavy, if you can call it, is the IS4 of Devil's Anthem. We will see. It's going to be an interesting match, this one. Good matchup. Let's get a pie into the back, as we normally do. So, we have already got the Vickers and the T22 cost effective, and Hermes heading towards the C cap. Temptation, however, is also going down there. So is Jericho, with the super heavies moving towards the middle area. Lucario is probably looking to try and get into that B cap. Striker also getting into the B cap. He's going to be joined with Renamed User. They're going to get there first. And Striker is going to go to the wall and try and cover. That's a great move by ENT. The rest of ENT towards the A cap with Clutch in the Crown Wagon overlooking the B cap just in case. Lion, however, along with Mummy Milkers pushing round. And why not? They have now spotted Fat Batman. They know where he is. They know where Roses is going to be as well. Mummy Milkers just holding back. We're just going to hold here for the moment. Cap advantage will go to Cats, which is surprising. I would have thought that they would have taken the B cap there, ENT, but they're not interested in that. They're going to look to push on Lucario. But look at what's coming behind them. There's a T22 and a Vickers. That is going to put them in a bit of trouble. Poor old ENT with Striker and Renamed User. Lucario moving in. Striker goes down to Temptation. Now renamed user is in trouble. Renamed user is in serious trouble. He's got tanks all around him. And, well, we're going to leave that because we're going to go up here. Eyeline goes down. Big Mouse, he's out. But look at Hermes in cost effective, trying to get round the back of Devil's Anthem. Down goes renamed user. So they take the Mouse out, but they've lost 2 tanks in doing so. Now Cats are trying to move around, focusing Fat Batman. Cost effective is coming in from the back as well. Fat Batman is being focused heavily here. Cost effective should be able to put one into his rear deck. If not, let's say Lucario should finish him off. No, Temptation does. Crown Wagons in the E5 there. Now they're going to push onto Devil's Anthem in the IS4 by looks on it. They're going to ignore the other tanks. Poor old Devil's Anthem is now... Oh, Hermes getting round the back. 1200 going in. Temptation covering Hermes. Devil's Anthem is going to go down. Eyeline and Mummy Milkers are down though. And now they can turn their attention to the E5 and the Crown Wagons. 3 again. Jericho goes down. But we've got a 3 line here. And they've got it all to do because those Crown Wagons are going to be DPM least effective in a moment. And they are. So Roses a Rosie is the focus. Cost effective coming around. Finishing off. No. And it's just the Clan Wagons left of Clutch and Ken Wars. And neither of them have got full magazines. They've got very bad DPM. Down goes Hermes eventually. It's 3 on 2, but it's an IS4 and an E5 and a T22 against Crown Wagons. The DPM is on the side of Cats. Everything is on the side of Cats apart from HP. Ken Wars is going to go down here. Oh, cost effective. He needs to put this shot and make it count. Oh, he doesn't. He leaves him on like 30 HP. Temptation needs to make it count. Yes, it does. Leaving just Clutch as the last man standing here. Lucario is a one-shot, but cost-effective is very healthy. Temptation is a one-shot, but cost-effective is very healthy. This is going to go to Cats. Cats should be winning today's final here in Group 2. Really good stuff. Great stuff from Cats. Great movement around the map. And poor old Clutch with his really poor DPM. Not much he can do. That's a miss by Temptation, however. Cost effective being whittled down here, but Lucario comes in and Clutch knows it's all over. So, congratulations to Cats. They win today's final here on Group 2, PYS number 2 on the Asia server. Commiserations to ENT, but really well played by Cats. Spectacular to watch. Let's just jump into the results screen. Let's see how all the current standings are. So in Group 1 we had RN against E7. How did that end up? RN beating E7. So RN the victors today in the group stages. They will both obviously go into tomorrow. In third place we had Team ID turning over GV. GV turning over ID. That's a shocker. However, both of them will go into tomorrow in any event. Moving down, well, we've just seen Cats turn over ENT. Both are into tomorrow. And HLV turning over Feast. But again, both of them are into tomorrow. So that is it for me today on Asia. We are back again later this evening with EU. PYS number 2, and we're back again tomorrow with NA, Asia and EU. Until then guys, enjoy the rest of whatever day you have.